Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I am Anarita Bashalieva, along with co-host Dr. Victor Fett, Dr. Katerina Shrey, and our program producer, Professor Larry Sherray. We host a weekly discussion panel on Russia's war on Ukraine with guests from Ukraine, military experts, medical personnel, academics, artists, literary figures, and relief workers. Our panel is recorded and circulated nationally and internationally. We appreciate your comments and feedback. Special thanks to Marshall University Libraries and MUIT for making this weekly event possible. If you are joining us live on Teams, please feel free to use the chat to post any question for our guest. A quick greetings to our viewers in Ukraine from Dr. Katerina Shrey.
Цей святочний час вітаємо наших слухачів в Україні з глибоким поклоном. Ми далі свідки вашого страшного терпіння і також вашої великої сили. Дякую вам за вашу участь в нашій тижневій програмі.
Thank you, Katerina. Today's guest will be introduced by Dr. Victor Fett. Thank you.
Thank you, Anara. Today's guest doesn't need an introduction for the regular viewers of our program. Professor Dr. Petro Strizhak, live from Kiev, has been here many times. He is a chemistry professor, a member of the Ukrainian Academy of Sciences, head of the department at the Pisarjevsky Institute of Physical Chemistry at the National Academy of Science in Ukraine. Before I give microphone to Peter for his live report from war line, basically from Kiev, which is bombed nightly by Russian missiles, let me pause for a moment and tell you that this is the first program, number 149 of MUkraine podcast, first in year 2025, which we all hope will be year of victory, si para pace para bellum, year not of some kind of fake agreement like Minsk agreement, but year of decisive victory, which must bring down the terrorist regime of Russia. I was asked in an interview recently, what was your most painful feeling in 22 when the war, full-scale war started? And I said without thinking that my most painful feeling was a shame. I'm an American citizen for 37 years. It was a shame that my country didn't rush to protect Ukrainians, didn't rush to cover the sky to protect the country. And we are now finding ourselves 85 years since in the same position as in 1940, when we were waiting for the war raging in Europe. I hope that year 2025 will bring the change which will allow to defend Ukraine and to defeat the terrorist aggressor. I give microphone to our friend from Kiev for this first meeting in the historical 2025. I cannot believe that the world will allow this war to continue to 2026. Дякую, Dr. Strizhak.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Victor, for introducing me. And it's my great pleasure to open this discussion this year. And I do appreciate what you are doing for Ukraine. All people in Ukraine have great appreciation to United States of America, to EU countries, to other countries who are helping us to struggle with this Russian beast, with Putin's regime, and to defend our country, to defend our values, our democracy, as a matter of fact, to defend our lives, because it's not just about country, it's not just about government, it's not just about buildings for us, it's about our lives. And the proof of that is that each village, each town, each city that has been occupied by Russian has been totally destroyed. Totally destroyed. Just ruins. No trees, no buildings, nothing. Ruins. All people, almost all people, are killed, and we faced it here, not far from Kiev and Bucha in 2022. But the same story in each small village, in each small town, in Donetsk region, in Kharkiv region, in Dnipropetrovsk region. So what they are doing, they just bombing the, say, small village. They eliminate it, destroy everything. Part of people are gone, and who left, they will be killed. So basically, there is no way to survive under these circumstances. And so without enormous support, I always say here in Ukraine to everybody, because people sometimes are tired of the war. It's the third year of after 2022, and it's 11th year of the Russian-Ukrainian war that has been started in 2014 in at the end of February, basically. I guess February 25, the first helicopters intersected our border directed to Sevastopol, and they started occupation of Crimea at that time. So 11 years ago. And that time it was not so much support for us due to several reasons, but hopefully after 2022 we got enormous support, and people who are thinking that the war lasts, that it takes a lot of our efforts, people are tired. I always, and they say that it's not enough support from the United States, for example, or from Poland, from any other country. I always say that during the war, it's always not enough support. It's always not enough weaponry. It's not always enough ammunition. But during the whole history, the whole human history, never ever any country has got such enormous support to defend in this case, our independence. It's the first time when more than 50 countries around the whole world are organized together, supporting us with everything. We got enormous budget support. We have enough monetary support from different countries, from different funds to support our economy, at least. We have, of course, not all what we wish to have, but we have enormous amount of ammunition, of modern weapon and stuff like that to defend our country. So again, thanks to all people, to everybody in United States, in Europe, in other countries who are supporting us in different way. And the second my message is that year ago, you remember, I opened your panel for 2024, and that time I described you that it was January 2nd, 2024, when Russian missile strike destroyed building of a friend of my son, where they celebrated New Year Eve. They had fun that time, and just day after, the whole apartment was smashed through, everything was gone. I would like to say that during the year, the building was renovated. and apartment is not still renovated, so basically it will take some more time, but basically all facilities are operating, and they put new windows, they renovated front part of the building, and so basically it's manageable to live here. But unfortunately, it becomes a bad tradition. This year, just exactly 2 weeks ago, uh, Russians destroyed my building where I am living. I mean, it's a 17th floor building in the center of the city, and it was a huge missile attack. Several missiles strike right in front of my building, and just half a block from my building, the second strike and the third strike nearby. So basically, three buildings were destroyed heavily. It's building where I'm living. It's a hotel and some office center, and windows and part of apartments were destroyed in 2 blocks around the epicenter of the missile strike. And epicenter was just, I would say, if we go directly by ground, it will be okay, well, 10 meters from my apartment, so just maybe 15 meters, but not more. The apartment of my neighbor was destroyed heavily. All windows were smashed, all doors were smashed. Hopefully, furniture remained unbroken and undamaged. So and they they spent a couple of days in my apartment because there was no way to live there. So and well, okay, in my building, for your understanding, in my building there are I guess 150 or a little bit more than 150 apartments, and more than 100 apartments were destroyed. For example, this morning I was watching that the owner of one of the apartments, they just were collecting stuff outside the apartment, the stuff that left undamaged, just some small furniture and several doors, that's it. And the rest I asked him, and the rest he told me, okay, well, I have to just throw away everything from inside and to perform total renovation of the apartment. Unfortunately, hopefully, not too many people were killed during that strike, but unfortunately, several people were killed, and one not inside the building, not in the apartments. I know one guy. He was just sitting in his car near the building, waiting probably for somebody, and the car was totally destroyed, and he was killed that time. So that happened just. I woke up at 7 a.m. Usual time when I am waking up to go to work. So I just opened my eyes, and I heard two two I heard launch of two anti-missile missiles, and so they blew up. And as I know, and what people told me, that they destroyed, because basically the Russian missile attack was performed by ballistic missiles. So a friend of mine, he was at the time watching, just he lives nearby. He was just watching windows, and he saw how several missiles appeared from the sky, falling down directly to the place where I am living. And anti-missiles, they blow up, so destroying this ballistic missile. So I believe, I don't know for sure, but I believe that ballistic missiles were destroyed and parts fell down nearby. So and several explosions appeared, and huge blast. So I guess for your impression, Victor may show you the beauty of my building before the strike, and just what happened. It's a movie from security camera, I guess. What happened during
1 second.
Second strike? Yeah.
1 second. I'm sharing right now my screen, and this is your building.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
I will explain. It's very nice building. It was built, I guess, 14 years ago. It's very pleasant. This building is a sort of, I wouldn't say it's the face of the city, but people like to film it in different movies. Nearby, it's a hotel where a lot of foreigners are living. So basically, it's very nice place, and it's unique design. It's just a unique building in the city. There is no second building like that. So that's how it looked before. So next. So this is, that what I guess that I made for this. This is second day after of the no, this is first day, no, second or first day, I don't remember. So this is, I guess, first day. Yeah, this is first day after strike, after fire was seized, and after all, I mean, main how to do this. So the cleaning of the street has been already started that time, I guess. Yeah, but you can show a movie when I guess it's a second strike, if it's possible.
Yes, 1 second. There are two.
That's very.
There are two clips. Give me a moment. There are two clips, and one of them is next here. Okay. Are we here?
No.
Okay. Do,
If it doesn't work, so just show the photo.
well, I will show the clip. It just takes a moment for it to load.
This is just, I guess, half an hour after strike, when firemen are struggling with fire due to explosion. Explosion appeared directly on the street near the building.
Thank you.
And there is also another clip that I like right during the strike.
Okay, 1 second. I will load it right now. Share.
So basically, yeah. Oh yeah. So this is just during. Oh yeah. So during this strike, the whole building was shaken, and I realized that something happened, but I wasn't thinking that time that the damage is so huge, because it's on the opposite part of the building. But my wife called me. She was preparing breakfast, just starting preparing breakfast, and she called me screaming that something happened. I went to the room, and window was broken, cracked. So, but I thought that okay, that just due to shaking the building, and I didn't realize. But just, I guess, 10 minutes after that, my neighbor phoned me, and I went to his apartment. All apartment was in smoke, in heavy smoke, because the fire you have seen probably either due to explosion, or I mean explosion of explosive, or due to explosion of the fuel, of missile fuel. I don't know, but it was heavy fire, and on the street ever. I mean, when I went out several hours after, everything was in dark, just like after heavy fire with heavy smoke. And the same picture was in his apartment. So, but hopefully, during the first, it happened in the morning. The fire was seized, I guess, half an hour after, and we started just cleaning the building, cleaning apartments. During the first day, I guess the main part was performed by our officials, and they were collecting data. They were collecting data from everybody, counting. I mean, in my building, counting people, that everybody is alive. The fire people were checking all apartments that people are alive, and then prosecutors started documenting everything, and the housekeeper of our building, she phoned everybody saying that okay, that headquarters organized nearby to organize help for everybody, and second day from the morning. I don't remember the name. Okay, well, it's a sort of volunteers. A lot of volunteers came to our building, and many of them were foreigners. I don't know from which country, not native Americans or Europeans. But I don't know. It basically doesn't matter. But a lot of foreigners in that were among volunteers. They brought special. They brought wood and some stuff to to repair, to put something instead of windows, because it's winter time and it's hard to survive without heating. Heating has been stopped, I guess, 1 hour after strike. Electricity has been stopped just. I don't know. I don't think that electricity that they shut down. I don't remember, but basically maybe just, but for a short time, and so basically after basically afternoon, we started. I mean, after shock, because people were just happy that they that they were alive, that nobody has been killed. I mean, instead of just one man. So, and we started repair. So next day, basically all windows were not repaired, but they just put something into the holes to protect the apartments. And that day nobody started repairing windows, but second day people started repairing windows. So different companies came to our building. For example, my neighbor, some company came to him, and so process of repairing has been started, and right now we are repairing our nice building, and we believe that everything will be fine. It's just a matter of when and how. So that happened 2 weeks ago, and couple of days ago, that was missile strike, ballistic missile strike. Couple of days ago, drones attack has been performed to the. It's called governmental block. So basically, it's not a block. There are several blocks nearby the office of our president. So then different, and it was a huge, massive drone attack, and there were, I guess, 17 buildings were destroyed or damaged, not destroyed, damaged during that attack. Several people were killed, and for example, among buildings, we have a house of writers. It's central house of writers, of Ukrainian writers. It has been damaged. Some buildings which belong to our government, they have been damaged. Some buildings that belong to volunteers, they have been damaged. And bad news for Victor Fett, a very famous microbiologist of our country. Zima and his wife has been killed during that strike, and basically that was the end of their family, because 2 years ago their son gave his life. Yeah, that's him. That's him. His son gave his life during the first month of the war. So basically, and Zima lived just near by building to the office of president. It's the second building close to the office of president. Part of our Central National Bank has been also damaged. So that's the war. That's the war. That's the war. Unfortunately, we all believe that. I agree with Victor. Many people in Ukraine believe that this year is a crucial year of the war. We believe that Russia will be that we will get our victory, and it's just a matter of what kind of victory we will get. Basically that in Donetsk region, in Kharkiv region, Russians smoothly occupy village by village our country. Right now, it's a heavy battle for a very large city in Donetsk region, Kurachovo. After that, the next city they are dreaming to occupy is Pokrovsk. So basically, 2 days ago, the drones attacked Pokrovsk, destroying something in the city. Most of people left this. I mean, Pokrovsk. Most of people left Pokrovsk. So, but we believe that the end of that smooth Russian occupation is not far, and we believe that we stop that the smooth movement towards the west. So hopefully, with the help of the rest of the civilized world, definitely we should stop that war. We should stop Putin. We should stop the blood. We should stop the death of people. For I don't know, maybe but according to our officials, almost 800,000 Russian troops were eliminated during these 3 years of the war starting 2022. So almost 1 million Russian people were gone just for what? That's question to Russian people. We Ukrainian people, we know what we are dying for, what we are struggling for, because there is no way for us. Either we will die on the battle, or we will die under occupation. Or, of course, part of people will immigrate to Europe, to United States, to other countries. But anyway, we are optimistic, and we believe that this year definitely it is crucial year of this war, and something good for Ukraine should happen. There is no other way, because otherwise everything is gonna be in dark. Everything is gonna be in bad way, not only for Ukraine, because just think what happens in 2 or 3 years after Russians occupy Ukraine. So I even don't wish to think about it. that scenario does not exist for us. For us, it's only one scenario for this war. It's our victory. So at the end of my talk, I'm sorry to be so long. Thank you again for your support. Thanks to everybody who is supporting Ukraine in any way, in any manner. And thanks to all of you and for your special panel. Thank you very much. That's it. I've done.
Thank you very much.
for having me.
Thank you, Petro. Thank you, Dr. Strizhak. And I open someone has the echo from the microphone, but I open the panel for the questions. Dr. Strizhak can stay, I hope, with us for a few minutes. And
Yeah, sure.
please, Dr. Deutsch, Leonard Deutsch, former graduate dean of Marshall University, glad to see you. Happy New Year, Leonard.
Okay.
Yeah.
It appears to be my microphone.
Probably.
I'll try to ask my question quickly. Donald Trump will be inaugurated in 2.5 weeks.
I'm sorry.
I can hear, I can
Len,
relay.
if you type,
If you hear, can you just transfer the question?
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I don't hear.
type
I just
in the chat.
Sound.
I'll ask you then. What do you anticipate a negotiated peace will look like, and what are your concerns about that peace?
So, Dr. Strizhak, the question is this: Donald Trump will be inaugurated in 2 weeks. What do you anticipate a negotiated peace may look like? Is that right, Dean Deutsch? Did I say that right?
Yes, and what are your concerns about that?
And what are your concerns about this?
Yeah. Well, okay. So that's a question that touches everybody in Ukraine, and it's a lot of speculations about presidential elections inside my country, and there are a lot of different kind of thoughts. My way of thinking is very simple, and I remember that I have already shared it in this panel. I deeply believe that it does not matter who is president of the United States. I deeply believe in great American nation, and I deeply believe that the country that has got its independence more than 200 years ago, struggling for independence. So I don't think that country will leave us one-to-one to such a huge enemy like Russia today. So the second part, and so basically, I believe that generally that the countries that supported Ukraine, they will support Ukraine. But it exists the second and the third level of this question. The second level basically should be the first level. And that level, what is the victory for Ukraine in this war? And what is the victory for, as example, for United States in this war? I am not saying that United States wins in this war. Of course, United States they are not participating in the war. I mean directly. I mean definition of the victory. So, and that's if you take a deep look into what politicians are saying, they always don't touch this question. But without getting aim, without getting some target, you have no idea how to reach the target because you don't have the target. So, and I guess, according to what I have heard from Trump, from other influential people in United States, I think that very shortly, probably, that kind of definition will be made, and it's not just a matter to make the definition. It's a matter that Ukraine will accept it, United States accept it, other countries who are supporting Ukraine accept it. So it's a little bit more complicated question than just feeling of one man or just feeling of government or president, even if it is president of the United States. So it's I guess that we will get that kind of definition, and after that I guess everything will be very clear, because if we have a goal, so then we should perform a roadmap how to reach that goal, and so on, so on. So basically, that will be technical question, and but how to define that goal? That's the problem. Today, the goal is simple: we are defending our country. That's it, and the rest of civilized world is supporting us. But obviously, that cannot last forever. So I guess I tried to answer your question. I'm sorry. Do you hear me?
Yes, yes, of course, yes.
Okay.
No, in the chat, we were attending to some
Yeah,
technical
because I have seen
difficulties.
something. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, my heart goes out to you, and I'm so grateful and so relieved that you are safe, and so sorry to hear about the deaths of Dr. Ihor Zima and his wife Vikula. And some of the news reports I just put in the chat, she was pregnant too. She was expecting a child, I think, Vikula,
I can ask because a friend of mine, she was a friend of her, and they were studying together. So I might ask.
No, it's
I don't know, but I don't know
it's
details.
tragic no matter what, and I mean they're
Yeah,
cat, they're just tragic no matter what. So the idea of targeting residences, this is because this is the building you're describing. This is purely residence, correct? There's
yeah.
no.
Absolutely.
Is this does this happen often? Is this typical? We've seen opera houses, cultural centers destroyed. We've seen public spaces, hospitals, but residences where people are just living. Is this normal? Has this happened before, or is this a new escalation in what the Russians what Putin is doing?
Well, okay. Let's put it into digits. Without details. During all, basically, starting 2022, Russians attacked Kiev. I don't know how many times. During these 3 years, I know only one not residential building that has been targeted. The rest, always. It's just
Wow. Well, and I remember last year you shared pictures of your son. It was a New Year's Eve party. It was great. And then the very next day there was in the same photo, there's a car in one photo, and then the next day photo, the car is destroyed, the apartment's destroyed. So yeah, certainly we do. I'd forgotten that that's also a residential building.
Among my friends, so me, friend of my son, my co-worker, second my co-worker, another guy. So I guess just people who I know personally, about 10 people where they got some sort of their buildings were damaged in some way. I'm not saying that apartment was smashed like I showed you a year ago. That was the most heavy, but windows. So basically, they perform strikes on residences.
And there's no
Not
warning.
not military targets, not even some governmental. Last times it's the first strike on governmental quarter, but I guess the most damage has been done to residents.
Is there any warning when this happens with this type of strike? Is there any kind of warning, or how do you live? How do you live like this? How do you just just act normally if you have no idea that this could happen at any time?
Well, okay, that's a good question. If I have it, I will. Okay, well, I will talk and we'll try to find. For example, today we had 5 air alarms. So just five attacks on Kiev. Just today. Just today. It started, I guess, 3 a.m., second 8 a.m., then 1 p.m., then 3 p.m., and the last one was 7 p.m. So the first lasted basically the most dangerous attacks at midnight. So from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. So just 3, 4, 5 hours. And then 1 hour, half an hour, sometimes it may be 10 minutes, sometimes several hours. So today we had five attacks, 5 times. I have this ring. I don't know how it's called.
Siren.
Huh?
Siren.
Yeah. Oh, siren. Yeah. Siren. So five times it has been. I can find that sound, but I'm sure you can find it on the internet. It's not. So we adjusted to that kind of sound. So. And for example, in phone, everybody has special software that says you about air attack and which region, direction of missiles, direction of drones. So you prepare to just second to second. You cannot watch how missile is flying, of course, but you know which region, and so basically everybody is prepared to that kind of attack.
I can't imagine what it must be like just looking up and just waiting for something terrible to happen. I'm so sorry, and I'm so grateful you're okay. I am so grateful you're okay.
No, thank you.
More questions or comments, please. Have many people for the first meeting, and it's still vacation in the university. Peter, how does your you do you teach any
Sure.
classes? Yes.
Yeah.
So how does your teaching work in these conditions?
Oh, it's this in 2022 and 2023 mostly I taught students online, but this year I started in the auditorium, so in conventional way, no problem. So it's the same as it used to be.
So students are students able to come to lectures
No problem. Yes.
as usual?
Yeah. It's only one problem during attack. If somebody is thinking to go to shuttle, so it's okay. You may go. We may stop. it became a lifestyle here. So 3 years of the war means something for people. So people just adjusted themselves to the situation, and it's it's the way it is these days in Ukraine. So it's much more better than in Kharkiv, for example, where I have a lot of friends. They are working, they are teaching in the university. For example, a month ago, had one lab. She is very nice scientist. She was collecting money to repair her lab to start research. So we are trying to live in under conditions we are having.
Thank you. More questions, please. I know it's very hard to talk in this way, but we want everyone in Ukraine to know that we are with you, not only in our prayers, but in our deeds and everyday activities. In the months, we will have here in our university a documentary film premiere by students from nearby Morgantown, which will be based on our documentary, on the footage we have of this program. I gave them my advice which pieces would be best to know. I don't know yet if they included your
I don't
footage,
care.
but whatever they do, they need to understand, and Americans need to understand what's going on, and we are not tiring to tell them every day. Anara, please, you had a question. Somebody had raised. Oh yes, Roald, please, Dr. Roald Hoffman, who is
Just
known to everyone
yes.
in chemistry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We do, Roald. Thank you for being with us. You can
Yes,
also open your camera.
My
If you
camera.
open your camera, yes,
That-
open your camera, and so we can see you. It is a great honor for us to have Roald Hoffman.
Let's see.
It is indeed a great honor. And while you're opening your camera, just to tell some of our viewers, Dr. Hoffman is the 1981 Nobel Prize winner in chemistry. This truly is.
I know. I was studying his works and books and his theory, and that's my great honor to be here together with such a famous chemist who changed the face of chemistry, especially of organic chemistry.
Thank you, Roald. We see you, and we are ready for your comments or questions. If you unmute your microphone, you are muted.
Let's try if this works.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
So thank you, Dr. Strizhak, for reporting on the inhuman conditions under which one lives. And having lived through another war, I know that one adjusts in certain ways, but it does not leave you. It does not leave you easily. One thing I wanted to talk about is we see a substantial number of Ukrainian students who have been received very well in universities around the world as graduate students, extremely talented, of course. I'm just a little worried from one informal conversation I had with one that he is worried about the fact that he left, that his leaving was in some way perceived as avoiding the draft. I'm being very direct now. The military service. Okay, so I'm wondering if you should make an extra effort to reach out to Ukrainian graduate students and postdocs around the world and keep in touch with them, no matter what their status is with respect to their leaving the country in some way. This is a difficult thing to talk about, but we're talking about the future. These people are loyal to Ukraine and its future, but they need some assurance that they are welcome, wherever they are. So I think you might have you thought of having or you have perhaps a series of seminars given by graduate students, Ukrainian ones abroad, just talking about their work. Just ask them to talk about what they're doing so as to keep in touch.
Thank you for your deep thinking about this problem. And well, okay, so it's a long conversation about this kind of problem you touched. Well, okay, if you have time, I can say 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, but briefly, I mean, in thesis. Thesis number one. I don't think that the most of students and postdocs who left country, they left because of the war. It appeared that approximately 5 years ago, we opened our study in universities for academic exchange. And for example, among students who I'm teaching, I don't see any difference between number of students who left country before the war and after, I mean, 2022 and after. So I wouldn't directly connect the number of young people who are studying abroad and the war. The second way, it's my deep, how to say it? It's my deep belief, or my the whole my experience says me the following: if young people, young men, spend more than 3 years abroad outside Ukraine, he will not come back. It doesn't matter. Either he was studying at the university, or he was working as postdoc, studying as postdoc, or spent some time working for private company. I am saying that's the 2-3 years rule. And I don't know any exception from that rule among all people who I am familiar with personally, basically. So, and the third point, in Ukraine, you are not forced to serve in the army if you are under the age of 25. So basically, all students, nobody forces them. All bachelor students, master students, PhD students, nobody forces them to serve in the army. Of course, a lot of them, for example, I had a group of 5 students in 2022, and all of them decided to go to defend our country in the military forces of Ukraine. That's another story. So basically, and the point number 4, among all people who left the country, I mean, I'm talking only about people who I know personally. Among all people who left the country after the war, almost all of them were thinking to leave Ukraine before the war. So that was just occasion for them to realize their plans. That's it. So I think that I guess I performed a reverse way of thinking, contrary to what you thought or
Yes.
you described us. So basically, I don't share your thoughts about this. I agree with the problem, but I don't share the the reasons and consequences of the problem.
Well, you know better from the firsthand experience. People did leave for various reasons, to get a better education, for economic reasons. Our experience, of course, with the Chinese students in the United States, and before that with Korean and Taiwanese, there was a time when everyone left. When everyone who left did not return, as you posit for the Ukrainian. But that time has changed, and not for political reasons, but for economic reasons. So let us all hope that there will be a time when Ukrainian scientists trained in some of our best students return to Ukraine. We all wish for that time.
Thank you very much for so nice words. That's the way it should be.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hoffman, for your questions. For the sake of our viewers, I will comment that Dr. Hoffman was born in what is now Ukraine, in Western Ukraine, in Zolochiv, and survived Holocaust there with his mother. You can look up his name and you will find not only his chemistry books found in modern chemistry, but also a lot of whimsical poems in English and other languages in translation. Thank you, Peter, for sharing your thoughts. And it's really remarkable that I can't stop thinking that this technology allows us to do what we are doing right now. But again, I can't stop feeling like Captain Jean-Luc Picard in Star Trek because of Prime Directive, which does not allow me to reach through the screen. It's sad and it is also very, very touching. We have been here for an hour. Here, Katerina, please open your screen, please.
Dr. Strizhak, I just realized we hear a lot of press here about the support of the North Korean soldiers that are fighting on the side of the Russians. Is any comments on that? We hear that they are both backfilling for the Russian soldiers, but we also hear that some are in direct combat. Do y'all hear anything about the presence of North Korean soldiers, and is it having an impact in Europe and in Kiev, in that area?
Oh yeah, of course it has a huge impact. Well, okay, for some reason I will not say everything what I'm thinking about that situation, but for your understanding, our officials told that the Koreans sent 12,000 troops to Russia to fight with us, and then I think approximately the same amount of troops. So I'm not sure. I'm not pretty sure because some official, some unofficial sources, but it looks like almost 20,000 North Korean troops came to fight with us. So, and today, this morning, I have got information from some of our news that we have already eliminated almost 8,000 North Korean troops. So, but what it means 20,000? 20,000, that approximately 15% of all Russian troops that invaded Ukraine in February 2022. So that's a very large number, and that number troops may change the military situation in part of on the front line. So basically, we are not saying that we are not happy with that is saying nothing. We just, I mean, it's just unbelievable that the third country basically is fighting against Ukraine. So it's not from that moment. Okay, well, I mean, Belarus was participating in the war, just getting the land for Russian troops. That's okay. Well, that's one story. Iran participating, helping Russia with drones and missiles. That's okay. That's another story as well. But basically, by any definition, by any kind of way of thinking, we are in war with, in fact, with Russia and North Korea.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for that comment. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Strizhak. Petro Strizhak from Kiev was with us live today with dramatic and first-hand report. We are so glad that we could connect to you. We know there are outages every day in Kiev, but we will be here for you as we were for almost 3 years. This is our 149th week. Next week, we will have a young lady, I hope, from Scotland, from St. Andrews, Ukrainian, who teaches there. And we wish to be viewed by people across the world in hope that it will make the difference. And we are not stopping. Do I have anyone else who wants to say a couple of words? If not,
I wish
Dr.
just to say thank you,
Yes,
thanks
please.
to all of you. Just thank you, thanks to all of you for this panel, for your attention to Ukraine, for your thoughts about us, for your thinking about us, for everything what you are doing for my country. Thank you very much.
I thank everyone who joined us today. We are honored to have had Dr. Roald Hoffman and our many regular viewers. Please join us every Friday or watching recording, which will be shortly on YouTube. As usual, we are not breaking, we are not stopping. Dr. Shrey, please.
Yeah, Dr. Strizhak, it's a pleasure to hear from you again. Thank you so much. Дорогі браття і сестри в Україні, ми зберігаємо вас у наших щоденних думках і молитвах. Нехай милосердний Бог тримає вас у своїй опіці. До наступного тижня. Прощаємося.
Україні.
Героям слава.